Wow. I set it up with the worst fucking picture I ever could have done. That was a very, very terrible picture. Terrible. Oh my Christ. Jesus Christ. Shit just doesn't want to... I was gonna do a random lick, but it wasn't gonna happen. And this is not gonna happen. Are we good? Are we good? I think that's good. I don't know why I have the GF Garippy little thing going with my EthNope-State. Yes. It was hot as fuck today. Oh my god, I still look like Jesus. I still look like Jesus. 'Cause of course he was white. He was white. I don't know what I'm doing. I guess it's more this way now instead of like angled. Fuck it. I am too lazy to deal with that shit. Am I feeling better? I indeed am. But my lungs and my nose and throat still don't feel 100%. But from like yesterday and Sunday, oh, so much better. That is for sure. That's for sure. Like, this won't hurt or kill me as badly as it has been. Plus, I cleaned it a little bit. Though I think some of this resin is going to be kind of permanently in there. I got the 99% alcohol is not even getting rid of this shit. It's insane. But anyway, I'm going to take this really quick. Before we get into our nice little batch of stories we have here. Got a nice little juicy segment of streams for today.
Do you want the puppies in there tonight or out here?
Alright. So. So, I got a text message randomly by somebody. You can go away. Not the stream, just that. There we go. That was annoying. Alright, so. I just was pulling up some very shit. I was watching the Drunken Peasants live earlier today. And I was... I know, I was kind of disappointed you're missing it because I was mentioning that there was a dude, who would come in often, usually every stream, and I was kind of hoping he would pop in there, but, it was unplanned, it was late as fuck, so I was just like, nah, I'm just doing it anyway. It was a short stream, but, I probably, if I work on my, like, freestyle, I might do some myself, just alone or whatever, but I'm not good at it at all. My luck, missed the party. It is unfortunate, my friend, but you're in this one now. The two-man party. Just like this government, it is a two-party system, and it sucks. But there's actually going to be two segments from this that I'm going to talk about. But not, one will be later, but the first part of this podcast on the Drunken Peasants had my guest and someone I'm a patron of, the Humanist Report. So he came on the show. I didn't even realize it. I was like, oh, hype. So I was all hyped up for that, and it ended up being a very good show. It was today. The stream is already done. So if you want to go ahead and check it out, you can. Your friend gave a camera of oh shit. Oh shite. I need to see that comment, and you get to see my very calloused hands. If only I could have taken it. Yeah. We were just, at that point, we were just like, let's just get high as fuck, clear my lungs out and shit, and just have some fun. And he's a really good, freestyle rapper, so I gotta give him credit for that. And, I mean, he's got a pretty, rough, story to go along with it, but I don't know how comfortable he would be with me just telling his story, so... Unless I can confirm, like, if you listen to a lot of his freestyles, you can hear his story in that. So if you, like, listen to it a little more, you might be able to kind of get a sense of him. But, yeah, me jealous. I'm done. Oh, no, you better not leave me. Did you read the description? You are held hostage. You are my hostage, all tied down together. But anyway, we're going to see Trump go at it with this dude with a KKK shirt. And it was like a Sharpie. Like, someone took a Sharpie and was like, I'm gonna write KKK endorses Trump. That's what it said. And I heard about this, but I was like, I don't give a fuck. But I saw it, and I'm just like, damn, this is, I kind of saw it. I didn't know what was all going on, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to see what this is all about. So, here is DP with the human support and everything. Just the main thing's the video, so I'll get that pulled up here. I'll move my camera on so we can...
Down man with KKK shirt.
Alright, here we go.
Who was killed. Okay.
I'll just zoom in a little bit right there. Oh shit, too much zoom. What's going on here? I didn't see this part, so we're just getting started. Look at all these MAGA hats and shit. Like, look at all these Trump signs. Like, oh my lord, this is like, and how many of these people are being so manipulated? Look at this old dude. Look at this guy. Let's zoom in on that bitch right there. Look how smiley he is. Oh my god. Like, look at that dude. Oh my lord, that guy is having the time of his life, just sitting there. He's like, oh, I'm seeing my daddy Trump with that. God, his hair looks CGI, man. His hair is CGI'd in there. Like, oh my lord. Ugh, that's just, yeah. No.
Awesome just joined.
Did you watch the Galano statements? I actually don't know what those are about. Actually, I haven't heard about those. So yeah, if you want to let me give me a little rundown, I could probably look it up and see what it's about. We're gonna skip a little bit here.
Oh God, King, they're gonna hang the black guy.
What the fuck, Pit Monk?
Oh fuck.
Oh my god, he hung his black puppet up. Here we go. Oh, there he is. There he is.
That's a shitty shirt.
What the fuck?
That shirt and took
Look at that shirt.
Magic marker.
Like, oh my lord, that is sad. This guy is sad. You couldn't like
because he didn't want to get like caught with a KKK shirt walking in.
Yeah.
Is there a little more on there?
There probably got vetted on their way in.
There wasn't. What's going on? All right, let's just see what continues to happen.
I wish he spelled endorses wrong. Or at least wrote the D back.
Oh, look how happy he is. Oh, he's so happy that Trump stared at him once. He's just walking around like he's like, what to do, what to do. Do I fire him? Do I fire him?
Trump's about to cut a promo on a face turn.
Let me.
Oh, he's walking up to him.
Weigh-in or the contract signing.
Oh my. Oh.
Better than McGregor Mayweather.
Oh my. Oh, he's bowing down to him. Oh, he bowed down to him. Oh, what a cuck. Oh. Oh my god. God damn it, puking dog. Puking dog. Damn it.
You see,
Oh my god.
in the good old days,
In the good old days,
law enforcement
would have acted a lot quicker, believe me.
Shot that piece of shit immediately.
Like, oh my lord, what the fuck? That dude bowed down to him. Damn, that was perfect. Okay, I don't regret watching that. That was hilarious. Oh, that was so juicy. It was crispy. It was crisp and savory. We also have another funny Trump story that I want to get into because it's actually about John McCain here. And, alright, so the headline, which is by Business Insider, says, a public debate about John McCain's funeral arrangement is playing out in an oddly public fashion. Okay, yeah, dealing with brain cancer, all that shit. As part of his funeral arrangements, he has chosen not to invite President Trump to the service. Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's perfect. At least one fellow Republican lawmaker, Orrin Hatch, called McCain's decision ridiculous. Oh, well, you're a douche. He said he would have chosen differently because Trump is a very good man. Yeah, I'm sure he is. Totally. McCain's a Vietnam vet, spent 6 years as a prisoner of war, and got shot down in Hanoi in 1967, so... And served 5 terms of the U.S. Senate since 86. And Trump, yeah. Okay, so, okay, well, that's just... Well, okay, that was basically all the points. Alright, well, he's just like, yeah, I don't want... fuck Trump, I don't want... You know, I have to, despite a lot of my disagreements with McCain and, like, how much of a corporate chill-out he is, he's... what the fuck, phone? You're going on your own ways now. Holy shit. My phone's possessed. But anyway, like, I can respect McCain enough because, I mean, he's definitely principled. And he, despite his weird pro-war ideas, oh my god damn it. This is not working out with my phone. This is not working out. What the it's possessed. Here, I'm going to put some of my weed right there. Maybe that'll help. My legalized tobacco. But, where was I? Oh, okay. You're moving it. Stop moving it! Damn it, Joe! But, anyway, it's like, I can respect him enough, even though there's so many weird things about him. I mean, he's definitely kind of off, and not off, but, you know, odd, I guess, is better. But, I mean, but he's, you know, he's respectable enough. Like, I mean, when it comes to the Republican Party, like, you know, I can, like, those who I respect would be Rand Paul and McCain, and that's about it. Like, I don't know any other Republicans, really, that, on the top of my head, at least, that I can find respectable. I mean, I'm sure if you went down to, like, the Congress, I could probably find some that are respectable there, maybe. I don't know. But when it comes to the Senate, there's, like, 2. There's 2. He's definitely, yeah, he's a strong military guy, even though he knew what the whole, like, what war can do. I mean, he got tortured, like, a lot when he was a prisoner in Vietnam. So, I mean, you would think he would be very anti-war, seeing how, especially how a lot of it, how savage a lot of it is. And, yeah, he did save healthcare, so that's the reason why I do respect him, because there's things where he pops out and he throws a curveball. It's like, oh, shit. It's like, that wasn't a very Republican move of you, but nice. Like, and, you know, like with the healthcare thing, that's nice. I mean, this is just like a non-story story, really. But, I mean, you know, it kind of shows that there are Republicans that are not Trumpsters, for sure. Like, Rand Paul obviously is not. Like, he's just his principled idea and his ideas just don't fit with him, really. Especially his anti-war message. And, I mean, McCain here as well. I mean, it sounded like Orrin Hatch was supposedly, like, one of those, but you're not really resisting Trump if he's a very good man. He's a very good man. He's like a kind of hero because he got captured. Yeah, that too, man. I mean, you know, he's just, that just plays into Trump's just awful character of just being a senseless piece of shit. So, I mean, you know, like, I probably wouldn't, like, consider McCain, well, I mean, in a way, actually, I could, because he, I think there was a deal where because I think he, also was, a son of a ship captain, I think. I don't know. But he was a son of, like, a very notable military figure, and they were, considering on doing, like, a POW trade or something, with him just alone. But he refused to do that. Instead, let other prisoners leave instead. He was like, take them, take them, not me. Like, they're more important than me. So in a way, you know, I could probably say that he is in a way, but I wouldn't like consider him like the American hero. I would definitely consider him a hero for, you know, the time and era and everything, you know. But I guess that just comes in sense of, like, what our definitions of hero is. And that's just mine in a way. I mean, it's just, like, what was your action that, and what, like, I mean, I don't really know exactly what my whole definition is because I haven't really delved into it. But when it comes to McCain, I probably would. But, yeah. But that was just a little random non-story on that. Well, not story. But here's another one on our obligatory Trump stories, because, I mean, there's so much shit going on. But John Kerry is trying to save the Iran nuclear deal, along with there's actually somebody else who is as well. Let me try to find him, what his name is. And it's a dude, it's some weird right-wing type of dude. Like, he looks like a fucking freakaloid, too. Let me try to find him, because I was looking into it a little bit here. I guess it's not uploaded yet. I was seeing it on TYT and they were mentioning it, but it doesn't look like they uploaded it yet, so I'll just maybe give it a little time and get back into that. But there's somebody else who looked like a buffoon-looking dude, but he was trying to save the Iran deal, and I was like, what the fuck? But comes to know when the answer to tomorrow is going to stay or not. It's like he's gonna leave the deal. Yeah, I mean, he is probably, honestly, but I mean, we've already violated it so many times, and Iran has also, you know, in response, violated it too. So I mean, it's just, you know, kind of became fucked, you know, just kind of crumbled under its own weight just due to the political pressure in the U.S. to just go against it because it was Obama who inserted the deal, even though it was pretty fucking good. I mean, it was just essentially that Iran can't get nuclear weapons. We give the money back that we jacked from them, and then and all their nuclear plants are for civilian commercial use. So it wasn't a bad deal, and you know, it benefited the West for the most part. So it's, you know, to see a lot of these neocons around Trump, especially with like John Bolton of all fucking people as well, that are in this administration that are trying to push to get rid of this Iran deal. It seems like people who genuinely have like seen it and understand this thing, like John Kerry here, they are like saying, no, don't do this because you're just going to escalate to war. You're just going to make it more dangerous. You're going to have another superpower with nukes. Well, not a superpower, but you're going to have another nation with nukes now, when we already have like Pakistan, India, like the UK and fucking France and Israel and all this shit. Like, there's already too many nukes on Earth. Like, one is too many, honestly. So I mean, just to add on to that fat pile of like what, 1,500, 10,000 some nukes or something like that. I don't know how many there were, but in my stream when I was talking about nukes, I did go into how many there were. So I think you were there to see that. So if you want to like go back and check that out, you can. But anyway, let's see about this whole because Trump is now accusing John Kerry of some shit, of some shadow diplomacy. So I have the article as well, but I'm gonna let kind of TYT do a rundown really quick, just because it's not a very long segment. So I'm thinking all of it, we'll just break it down quick.
The Trump administration has threatened
a fucking phone call? Are you kidding me?
That's the deal that ended Iran's
Jesus.
nuclear energy program.
Did that fuck me up?
Program, but,
I hope not.
Not only have a nuclear weapons program, they get a nuclear
God damn it, who called me? Fuck off.
An amazing deal. And in return, what do we give them? Nothing.
Well, I don't know what the fuck happened there for me, but someone called me and just fucked up that situation. What the fuck? Probably gonna be in agreement. Hold on. Let me keep that up there. Stay up there. No! Gonna read this really quick before I restart this shit after that debacle. There will probably be an agreement from Day to fix that only after probably one of them gets stolen, gets sold somewhere, then a lot of people lose. Yeah. I mean, I don't know exactly what will happen after the deal ends, but I know that Iran will just, the government at least, will take instant advantage of just like, alright, well, build nukes now, we use our deterrent, deal doesn't matter now. I mean, like, another part of the deal I forgot to mention is that the IAEA, the International Atomic Agency, literally, I think what, like once a week or like once a month or something, checks all the nuclear plants. Like, that's a good deal. Like, I mean, because that, it's essentially saying, we're going to make sure that you're actually, you know, just doing civilian nuclear use, like for nuclear power and stuff like that. So, it's just fucking ridiculous how, you know, he wants to get out of this when, like, I guess he might want to try to do a better deal. I'm going to make the Trump deal, the Trump-Iran deal, believe me. Like, because he was doing that with TPP. Like, I think there was a recent story of him doing that. So, I mean, why can't somebody fix spell check? You know, I've been asking that question for a very long time because now my autocorrect is so fucked up on my phone. I hate it. Like, I don't even want to get rid of autocorrect, but at the same time, I have to, like, keep it on there because some words do go back. But, oh, I forgot there's a pussy right there. Chilling on my chair. But anyway, let's go back into this real quick.
Now they couldn't not only have a nuclear weapons program, they had a nuclear energy program. It took out the uranium from Iran. It was an amazing deal. And in return, what did we give them? Nothing. We had taken that money hostage, and we had convinced other countries to freeze all their assets. Not our assets, their assets. It was Iranian money. And we froze them all across the world. We kidnapped their money. And then in return for ending their energy program, we gave them their money back. It was
basically what I went through. We jacked their money, froze it everywhere, and the deal, you know, ended up being basically the greatest thing for the West entirely, while the Iranians just essentially don't get a nuclear program, and don't get, you know, a nuke, basically. So, I mean, we really, really had it good with that deal. I mean, I'm getting 2 cats, an older one and a baby it cares for. Aww. Well, I hope that goes well, because, I mean, a lot of our cats are siblings. This one is not. She isn't. But the big gray one, and we have another one who's all black, and then a Maine Coon looking cat that's very small. They're all related, and because we used to have a cat that birthed a fucking lot of litters. And it was ridiculous. But we ended up keeping a couple of them, and, well, 3 of them. And then we had another one, but he died last year. He was our first cat. Actually, it's coming up near the anniversary date of that shit. That happened on the 12th of May. I remember that like fucking yesterday, dude. It's pretty tough. But still got her. And Bandit is technically not our cat, like the big fat white gray guy. He's a friend of ours' cat, but he's finally got a place now, so he's going to be able to take care of him there. So I'm thinking maybe we can have him like switch off every now and then or something like that. Have Bandit be here, and then he can go back over there and stuff. But yeah, anyway, back to the deal. To the great deal. Believe me.
Unbelievably great deal.
Unbelievably great.
They want to run down nuclear weapons. They're run by the Ayatollah. They're run by a bunch of corrupt mullahs. So we didn't go to war. We gave up nothing. And we took away any hope of a nuclear program.
Yeah.
So, of course, the moron Donald Trump thinks, oh, I'm going to do a better deal. I'm going to do a better deal. So I'm thinking of ripping that one up. Oh, yeah.
My ashtray is literally right here holding my phone up, by the way.
Deal is apparently going around to allies and to the people he talked to in Iran to make the deal, including the foreign minister, and saying, look, here's how we can rescue the deal, etc. He's on his own. He's doing that. Is that a good idea? I got mixed feelings about it. Look, if a Republican Secretary of State was doing that to Obama, I don't think I'd be happy about it. On the other hand, he's fighting for peace, and those guys fight for war. So that makes a giant difference. And he is the one that put the deal together. And as a former Secretary of State, he has every right to at least talk to our allies. That's for sure. Trump does not agree. He tweets, the United States does not need John Kerry, possibly illegal shadow diplomacy on the very badly...
Oh my... Oh, this is rich. Illegal shadow diplomacy. He's a former Secretary of State. I think he's allowed to do that if he wants. Like, what? What? He was like the original person who started the fucking deal during Obama's administration. What bullshit is this? Like, if there's anyone to renegotiate it, it's probably him along with, like, some other officials or whatever the fuck. Like, oh. Just anything to just, you know, fuck it up for the world, huh? Yeah, really. I mean, funny thing is, the more he attacks everybody who starts going slightly against Trump, the less people start supporting him. So, you know, he's digging his own grave. He really is. Like this, maybe this tweet might not have, but he keeps saying shit that will literally just is digging his own grave. You know, he like, there's been tweets where he will literally contradict himself in the same tweet. It's not even in, like, a different tweet later. It's, like, the same fucking tweet. It's like, how do you do that? Like, how do you do that? It's like, how do you, like, I mean, there's an argument to be made he's a senile, you know, old man. I mean, there's also, like, who's just, like, crazy and whatever, like, acute Alzheimer's or some shit. But I don't know if he's even that, because he just seems like... I mean, he is just a fucking character, dude. Oh, man, how did this country vote for this person? I mean, I know why, because, I mean, there's so much we can get into that part, but, oh, I mean, but, like, how did he become an, man, it's crazy. Yeah, Mike, you know, I've debated in my head a little bit about Mike Pence. It's like, do I prefer him over Trump? And I'm like, you know, I've thought about it now, and I'm like, no. But, I mean, like, I did for, like, a month, like, debate that in my head. I didn't, like, let anyone know about it, really. I was just like, you know, I want to think about this to myself. Like, let me think of Mike Pence. And, you know, I'm like, could I overlook his, like, anti-gay shit and his super Christian shit just to have a more competent, more level-headed human who... I think... Because I think it was because he made some sensible points about something. And I was just like, oh, okay. And I think after that, that's what I was making my, like, debate in my head about. But no, I can't have Mike Pence be VP. Or president. I mean, oh, God. His fucking hair, too. I mean, his hair is so creepy. Yeah, and I also, yeah, I do notice that too. Pence also gives him, like, this stare. He's like this. It's like, just gives him, like, this glare. It's like, It's just like this disgusting, like, vile human. I don't think he likes him at all. To be honest, I think Pence probably is just like, fuck this guy. I don't want to be around him. He's a fucking idiot. He just contradicts himself a lot. He is poked fun at my religion before, which he has. He's actually, like, talked smack behind his back, too. So, I mean, I don't blame Pence for not liking Trump, like, if he really doesn't. And I think he doesn't like him. I gotta charge this really quick. I didn't even realize that I thought my battery's at, like, 25, not 15. Fuck that. Should just be a little simple slide in there. There we go. Okay, don't... Stop moving. Jesus. Stop moving it, Joe! Stop! But, God damn it. But, it's just, like, yeah, the United States does not need John Kerry's possibly illegal shadow diplomacy on the very badly negotiated Iran deal. The badly negotiated, I mean, okay, whatever. He was the one that created this no, there was no mess. There was a mess in the first place because we seized their assets, and then he cleaned it up. Oh, I mean, this isn't even a contradiction. That's just straight up lying. Like, what was this, today? Oh, yeah, and on DP, I was talking to someone on live streams like, Trump lies, prove it. And I'm like, I could pull something up today of him fucking lying, and what do you know? I pulled something up today of him fucking lying. So, what, bitch? I don't even know what the dude name was on the live chat, but I was just like, don't go that route, kiddo, and he didn't respond at all. It was perfect. But, oh, man. Oh. How does the world, like, I want to actually, like, if I could, I would love to just, like, wait, what was it? Oh, wait. By the way, last night when you went off, you didn't give the finger of death. I'm only getting the finger. Huh. Like, I wonder how that worked, because I did it a little differently. I, like, pressed the finish, and then I waited a little bit, and then I, with my other hand, turn the music out, like, kind of fade away, and then I press stop. I don't know how that worked, but it looks like it just gave you a finger instead of the finger of death. But, anyway, yeah, I mean, this is just crazy, though. I'm gonna let this video play a little more, see what other interesting bullshit is in here. Oh.
He negotiated Iran deal. He was the one that created this mess in the first place. If by mess you mean an excellent deal, yeah, that was John Kerry. That's probably the shining moment in his resume.
I'll just go to the article. I have that pulled up right here. Let's see here. The paper said Kerry has been seeking to apply pressure on the Trump administration from the outside to preserve the pact. Trump, who campaigned in 2016 and scrapping it, faces a Saturday deadline to decide whether to continue abiding by its terms. Oh, God. Well, I guess we'll find out what happens Saturday. During a Friday speech at the NRA, to the NRA, oh my God, Trump attacked Kerry for having negotiated the 2015 deal he called horrible. We have the formal administration, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. Quote, we have former administration as represented by John Kerry, not the best negotiator we've ever seen, Trump said. He never walked away from the table, except to the bicycle race where he fell and broke his leg. Kerry broke his leg in 2015 while cycling in the Alps. Okay, that's where that context happens. Kerry's been under fire from conservative commentators, with some suggesting dealings with foreign officials and violate the Logan Act. I don't know what that is. That law prohibits private citizens from negotiating on behalf of the U.S. government without authorization. Well, maybe he should have authorization. You know what I mean? I mean, come the fuck on. I mean, I don't know how that would go around, because I doubt he would. But yeah. There's only 2 known instances which individuals have been indicted for violating the Logan Act. Most recently, in 1853, neither indictment resulted in conviction, according to legal experts. So, I guess the Logan Act has only been violated twice, apparently, but never was, like, conclusive from the sounds of it. The Logan Act received renewed scrutiny following the Trump transition. Last year, Trump's former national security advisor, Michael Flynn, pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI about conversations about sanctions with the then Russian ambassador while President Barack Obama was still in office. Fuck my throat. Following Trump's tweet on Monday, Kerry spokesman Matthew Summers released a statement defending his actions. I think every American wants every voice possible urging Iran to remain an accomplice of the nuclear agreement that prevented a war. And we should too, by the way, because we keep sanctioning them when we weren't supposed to. So, don't double standard much? Secretary Kerry says stays in touch with former counterparts around the world, just like every previous Secretary of State, like I figured would happen. America's closest allies, he believes it is important that the nuclear agreement, which took the world years to negotiate, remains effective as countries focus on stability in the region. So, it just seems like, you know, just Trump's trying to do whatever he can to just avoid Kerry to get renegotiating this deal and have, like, his influence in here, which I think he should, because this is, like, this is important shit. Like, if this deal's just officially scrapped, like, officially, and it's, you know, there for everyone to realize, and then Iran starts developing a nuclear weapon then that's bad, because there's a proxy war with Saudi Arabia and Iran, and also Israel's starting to get a little war interested with Iran as well. So I mean, like, I have no love for the Iranian government, but the people of Iran, who are pretty young like us, or at least like me and stuff like that, they are going to be the ones to suffer the most, because I hear, whenever I, like, pull up news from Iran, usually the people are very protesting, very protestive. In fact, I don't know if that's a word, protestive, but I just made it a word. But believe me, it's a new word. Dictionary, look it up. It's in there. Believe me. But like, I mean, yeah. But the citizens in Iran protest the government a lot, to the point where they will break laws where the religious police will usually arrest them for it. But because that was me moving it this time, so I'm not blaming you, Joe. But, fuck. Trump feels like he decides something, all must fall in place. Yeah, basically. You saying I'm old, bitch? I am not. I am definitely not. I'm just saying that the people of Iran are pretty youthful, and generally don't buy into a lot of the old traditionalist ways of, like, the mullahs and the ayatollah and everything, which, you know, I guess you could say for the same example for a lot of young people now. Like, they don't buy into a lot of, like, old Christian ideas or old evangelical ideas as much as you know, their old the generations before them and their families have. Like my family's still pretty religious. My dad isn't really, but my mom is still. So her when it comes to a lot of things, her and I, we can't really get into, because we just end up disagreeing heavily, because I'm an agnostic atheist and she's obviously a Christian, so that ain't gonna work out. Like, she's just gonna, and there's just certain things that she just won't talk about. So it's just like, I mean, I'm trying to push you out of her echo chamber, which works a lot, but because her and I have a lot of great deep discussions. But I mean, it's just like certain things I just can't, because it's just, you know, it's like I just find it, you know, irrelevant in certain discussions. But for some reason, that it goes back for her. It goes back to religion on a lot of things. And it's like, I mean, I see your point, but come on. I mean, see my point and realize that this is probably a little bit more logical than yours. But I can't, like, push that on her, or else she's gonna be like, nah, and get all, you know, squeamish about it. And and that's not my goal with her. I mean, if it was some other random dude I'm talking with, I would. But I mean, with her, I have to be, like, far more reserved about it, because it's my own fucking mom. I'm not gonna, you know, just be like, "What are you religious tired with it?" Like, I mean, I don't fault her for it at all. She grew up in Texas, where it's like the most reddest of the red states, and there's some of the most religious states there. I mean, the South is very religious. So I mean, I don't blame her at all. I really don't. You know, it's just, you know, it's just how she grew up. And also, I think because she tried to push religion on me on a young age, that helped me become, you know, who I am now. Because, to be honest, I just really don't like the Bible at all, really. It's kind of a... I've read a couple stories, and there's a lot of Bibles in my house, so if I really wanted to, I could read it, but this just... I've read enough passages, I can't remember on top of my head, of them that are just like, what the fuck? Like, why? Like, there's... like endorsing slavery and shit, how you should treat slaves, like what slaves you can't have, and if you have a Hebrew one, it's only for 7 years and some shit. Like, and then with like Sodom and Gomorrah, like Lot would either have to like give up his daughters to be gang raped basically, or some shit, and then his daughters later get him drunk as fuck and then rape him, and then to have daughters or have kids of their own. It's like, so there's it's fucked. It basically, with that story, incest is condoned if you need to survive. So I mean, yeah, there's just a lot of fucked stories in there, and then there's some that's just outlandishly gone. Like, I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, if I had I had like some segments on here that I can like talk about with, I would definitely get more into it, but just talking off the top of my head about it probably would not be as convincing than actually like looking through these passages and dissecting them one by one. But yeah, I mean, I think all right. So I think that's all of our Trump stories. Thank God. Actually, there isn't as many stories as I thought there were. But so I'm gonna go back. So last stream when I was doing some news stories, I think when I was down with the sickness, I was looking at Don Blankenship. I don't know if you remember him. Religion causes lots of issues, and I definitely do agree with that. And I don't think it's just specifically one religion either. It's like generally like more specifically towards the Abrahamic religions, so Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. I guess Catholicism in that sense as well. I mean, those are the big four. I think are the ones that cause the main issues. But, and like, there are minor religions that, while I do think all religions have cause issues, you know, some are like irrelevant issues, really. Like, I mean, for example, like certain pagans or certain spiritualists aren't, you know, weird about it or whatever. It's just more of like this internal thing with themselves or whatever. Or they just would rather, you know, have like, you know, ceremonies in the forest or something like that. And it's like, okay, it's a little weird, it's like, you know, whatever, but it's like, you know, I mean, I actually kind of like having like a little something out in the forest. That's fun. I will admit that there are certain things that are pretty cool about certain rituals and stuff. Like, you know, because I find certain traditions to be okay, you know. It's cool to keep like certain, you know, family and certain family and traditional cultural traditions going, because it's, you know, it's what brings people together. Like, you know, because I see a melting pot of cultures, especially with the internet now, like with how interconnected we all are and stuff. Like, you're across this country, so I mean, and I can already tell there's so many differences in culture just from the east to the west coast. So I mean, there's that even there. I mean, it's a little more smaller scale, but you get the point. But anyway, we got Don Blankenship again, and I found out more about him, and he is a scumfuck. We have a scumfuck! Woo! I mean, normally these type of people are... We're gonna listen to the ad again. We don't really need to see it.
Is running for the Senate in West Virginia.
So, okay, so Senate of West Virginia. So he's going after Joe... He's running against Joe Manchin, I found out. And he ran an ad against McConnell? Like, what? So that's the first, like, what the fuck are you doing? And... we already, let's just go right into it. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun.
And he released an ad last week that randomly went after Mitch McConnell, who of course is a senator from Kentucky and the majority leader. He also brought up...
Yeah, so a senator from Kentucky. I mean, and last time we were talking about how he was calling Cocaine Mitch of Mitch McConnell. Okay, so that turtle, slow-ass motherfucker is not doing cocaine. Like, that old little turtle dude is just like, meh, I'm just a turtle. I'm the majority speaker of... Meh, there. Like, I mean, he's like Pat Robertson status almost. Like, he's like 5,000... Like, he's like Like Pat Robertson's like 6,803, like McConnell's like 5,982. Like they look ancient as fuck. Like even McConnell looks like he just has that like plastically cartoony turtle face. It's just so Turtle Face McConnell. Oh my god. That's my new nickname for him, Turtle Face McConnell. Oh god. But like that doesn't make sense when you're running against Joe Manchin. But I guess it does when we get to learn more about him.
Joe Manchin, of course. Joe Manchin is the senator of West Virginia.
Give us the ad. Okay. Oh, let's just listen to the ad one more
So
time.
let's watch it and we'll talk about it.
Tom Blankenship, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this mission. Swamp Captain Mitch McConnell has created millions of jobs for China people. While doing so, Mitch has gotten rich. In fact, his China family has given him tens of millions of dollars. Mitch's swamp people are now running false negative ads against him. They are also childishly calling me despicable and mentally ill. The war to drain the swamp and create jobs for West Virginia people has begun. I will beat Joe Manchin
so sorry.
and Mitch for the sake of the kids.
Oh god, the children. No. I'm so sorry. I'm not saying you are. I mean, I don't even know exactly what you look like, so I don't know if you look like a youthful person or like whatever, but the internet makes it hard sometimes, you know what I mean? But it's all, I mean, I hope you know it's all good shit. Drain the swamp. We most definitely need to, that's for sure. I mean, you can throw young people jokes right at me. I mean, like, don't ever, like, I mean, you don't want to underestimate the power of millennials, so you might need to just put my privilege in check. So, I mean, it's easy to roast me right back, so, and I definitely would not give a shit. I mean, I am up for roast battles.
Okay, I don't even know.
Maybe not now, but I mean, but you know what I mean, though. Read three lines up, kid. I did. I just went on to... Damn, I think this hit got me now.
Where to start with this? So first of all, why is your ad primarily going after Mitch McConnell if you're in West Virginia and you're running against Joe Manchin?
That's so weird.
That doesn't make much sense. Drugs is like 100% on the wrong side, which means, so why cocaine Mitch? Are you saying he gets down? He parties? Because then I kind of like him more. Mitch McConnell, cocaine.
4 lines up. They're just gonna like say 5 lines up now. Make me read all the lines.
Like at least when Trump does nicknames, it's like Lion Ted. Like yeah, we got that. He is a liar. Basically running his mouth at 1,000 miles an hour. Cocaine Mitch, what the fuck? And
he goes on a 2-minute rant about cocaine Mitch.
I got white babies. They got blonde hair, fair skin. I'm gonna make sure I fix this country for the kids. Life is England.
So yeah, like Mitch McConnell's wife is Asian and shit. So I mean, that's where the China people thing came from. So I mean, this guy's either like, racially insensitive or just minutely racist towards China people, I guess. But you know, I don't know. The guy this dude is a goofball. Like the guy looks like a Blankenship is your name. Like you have to hate yourself with that name. Oh, like it makes my name at least look freaking honorable. I mean, my last name is just freaking like, I mean, it's Irish as fuck, and I'm not even that Irish either. I mean, it's like, what? He was in jail. Like, yeah, this dude, what? Yeah, he was, and I didn't even know that before, and we get to find out here in a sec. He's gonna get into it, but he's going after Joe Manchin, of course, and he spent a year in federal prison for mine safety violations following a 2010 explosion at the Upper Big Branch mine that killed 29 miners, which is just absolutely fucked. And he was the CEO of Masonry Energy, the company that owned the mine. So, so he's a coal baron. This fucker is a coal baron. And Kalinske goes on to say that, you know, we need to get Paul Jean Swearengin, who's running against Joe Manchin in the primaries, which are happening now. Like, I got my voters pamphlet a while back, and I've been filling it up as the day goes on. Let's not get names. Ignore was in a video game, I think. Yeah, I originally got it when I was looking up like Nordic names, because I am primarily Danish Norwegian, so I use that as my online name. So I have like an online name that I actually will like mostly go by, but my real name is kind of like meh. It's bland as fuck. It's Rab. That's the initials is Rab, R-A-B. Rab, like why?
So he's taking the fact that he has a Chinese wife.
Yeah, and blame my mom for that. She keeps blasting that shit. It's like, stop! I'm streaming, no! I mean, it's like, whatever. But it's just like, damn it! Why?
And using that against him in a political ad. He's taking a lot of money from his China family.
Kyle's fucking face. I love it when Kyle makes these perplexed faces. It's perfect. Like, he uploaded this today, and it's only like a 7.5-minute video, so if you want to go ahead and check the whole video out yourself, you can. Like, all these are really easy to find. I usually just pull them up from the same sources, Secular Talk, the Young Turks, or just whatever. And they usually have the links to these articles in here, so... I mean, as soon as I get a podcast up, I will literally be able to link everything down below, but right now, that's just a crazy hassle. It looks like a Flint... Oh my god, he does look like fucking Flintstone! It looks like a fatter, obese Fred Flintstone, holy shit! Oh, fuck! Oh, man, god! Oh, that's fucking perfect! Oh! Damn, that's so perfect, it's killing me. Oh, shit, that's perfect. Oh, oh, that's so great. Fucking chubbier Flintstone. Damn, that's perfect. Oh, that's good. I'm using that. Oh, God, I can't get that out of him. I can't stop looking at him like that.
And
man, this guy's fucked, though. I mean, a coal baron who, like... was doing safety fraud and violating safety regulations and killed 29. Like, this guy should... he should have been in prison longer. Like, holy shit. He should have been charged with, like... with maybe manslaughter at least or something. Like, not murder because he wasn't direct... I mean, I guess he was indirectly involved with it, you know, doing safety fraud and shit. But, man, this guy should have been in prison for, like, 15 years or some shit. Well, yeah, because then it would be 2025. So he would have been running if that was the case. So, I mean, at least that. I mean, fuck. And then, and speaking of fucked up people, we got a CIA head, Gina Haspel, who wants to be a pick for CIA director. Ugh. And, oh, got a comment there? His rehabilitation. I'm ready for government. Oh, if you are, though, let me know. I'll fucking spread that shit. Water border.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders, of course, is President Trump's secretary, press secretary.
Speed this up really quick.
And she tweeted.
So I don't know too much about this. I just pulled the article. Ooh, it's by Glenn Greenwald. Ooh, speaking of Glenn Greenwald, got one of his books. Got a little fat library right here of all sorts of shit. I love Glenn Greenwald. He's great. Let's see here. That's the article. I'll go back to the video really quick.
To get Gina Haspel confirmed as the new CIA head. So Mike Pompeo was the director of the CIA. He's now the Secretary of State, which is terrifying, by the way. This guy's pro-torture, never met a war he didn't like. Apparently he believes in the rapture, and he's a legit, hardcore fundamentalist Christian. These guys should be nowhere near any position now. Never mind being Secretary of State.
And also, my room is very white.
In the process of trying to get Gina Haspel confirmed to be the CIA head.
I'm just literally dripping with white privilege that even my room is just privileged with the whiteness.
Look at what Sarah Huckabee Sanders said.
Okay, so I'm just going to summarize the tweet. There is no one more qualified to be the first woman to lead the CIA than 30-plus year CIA veteran Gina Haspel. Any Democrat claims to support women's empowerment and our national security, but opposes her nomination as a total hypocrite. So they're using feminism basically to push a fucking war criminal and to basically just get Democrats tied behind their back to be like, oh, you're gonna do this now, and they probably are, because they usually do. They concede like little bitches. So they do this shit to, and they wonder why Democrats lose all the time, and they wonder why, like, you know, there's gonna be a populist left wave that's gonna take over a lot of these corporate shills, and then whatever doesn't is just gonna go red because the Democrats suck this bad right now. Like, oh my god.
There is no one more qualified to be the first foreman. This is what we've been warning you about. Now, I got a lot of shit from people when I mentioned during the 2016 election.
What year am I running? If I were to run, I know I couldn't do it now, and I know I couldn't do it for at least another 6 years, so it's 2018 now, so probably like 2026 or 2028, if I could, or was looking into it. Like, I know I at least want to be involved in this political atmosphere somehow, and so I don't know if I'll start by running, but I know I'll at least probably have a little bit of a political career by then, maybe. I'm thinking that's just the route I'm going. Like, have like a YouTube and political career, or blend it both together and shit. Because, I mean, like, that's just where my passions have been for a couple years now. And I think it's just like, I just keep getting more passionate about it. So it's like, I think I'm going to have to keep going with it. Just let that slide, just let it flow. Because I think that's where I need to get to in that situation. What is this fucking little battery? Is that shit plugged? Oh, my tits. It was not. That explains it then. I don't want this dying on me in the midstream. That would be bad. That would be bad, okay? There we go. Perfect. That shouldn't die. Hopefully. So back to this CIA scumfuck.
Hillary Clinton was using identity politics as a shield.
I do have a webcam, but my laptop's fucked. That's the main problem. So I'm hoping that upgrade will be soon. By soon, I mean like August, September, maybe. I don't know when, because I'm also trying to save up for ice. Like, I'm trying to save money up for a lot of shit. So I might just start my Patreon early at some point just to see how that starts off with. But I don't know how that's gonna work out yet. I need to build up more of a following. That's the main. It's just all about, like, the execution and timing, I guess, But don't worry, it will be better one day for sure. It will be. Most definitely, hopefully someday. Just obviously won't be today, or probably next week or whatever.
As a mask to deflect and obfuscate. And now the chickens are coming home to roost. And you're seeing exactly why this is a problem. Because now the Republicans are doing this bullshit. And see...
And that's a good trick. That is a very good trick. Because, of course, the Democrats are going to fucking concede to that. Like, they're literally using McFeminism, which is just, what's been going on. And, you're going to make Democrats kowtow to the Republican line like they always have been, So, it's just, using another manipulative trick to just get the Democrats more on board onto their ideas, even though they're already sold out to a lot of these ideas in the first place. So it's more than likely we're going to see this bitch running the fucking CIA. Oh my... Like, that shit needs to get dismantled. Like, the CIA it shouldn't even be an agency. It's fucked. They're fucked.
The whole idea behind it is, take something that's inconsequential, like somebody's gender or somebody's race, which shouldn't matter in a world where we care about equality, right? Everybody should be treated the same. We're all viewed the same in the eyes of the law. But you take those factors about a human being, and you try to use that to override genuine bad policy positions and odious ideas that said person has. And so when Hillary Clinton went out there and did the "I'm with her" slogan, and decided on election night that she was going to be in the Jacob Javits Center so that when she won the election, which they thought was inevitable, she'd be able to say, "We've broken the glass ceiling because I'm a woman and I'm in this position of power."
Oh, by the way, you didn't, Hillary. And I was just trying to there was something in the way I couldn't read the question, but I haven't seen the original one in full, but in some parts. And then I saw the one with Tom Cruise in full. So I have seen the War of the Worlds. My speech. I don't know why it does that. Too young, are we? Hey, I do like old films. Like, I find them to be a lot better than a lot of new ones. Like, I find new movies nowadays usually to be kind of crappy, but there's a lot of good, old films that I love, like The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. 2001: Space Odyssey was a pretty good one. The original Terminators, or at least the original one. Like, what else? I mean, there's so many that I can list that, you know, I had to be going so off tangent. It'd just be crazy. You know, going to all these stories. Like the original RoboCop 2. I mean, you know, there's a lot of good old films out there. If only I had the camera with the telescope and pull. That would be pretty dope. I do have a telescope, and I am able to actually use the camera to actually see with that telescope. So I think one of these nights, if it's like clear as fuck and we can see everything, and actually is like that tonight a little bit, then I think one of these streams I'll actually do like a telescoping stream where I'm just using my telescope for a little bit and talking about space and universe and shit. Because there's going to be some streams I want to do where I'm not really going into politics or whatever, but just kind of talking about some interesting shit like, you know, the universe and stuff and astronomy. And other, you know, historical moments, just cool things in history, like, you know, stuff like that. But I haven't gotten into that yet, but I think sometime, maybe this week, I might try that out and see how that goes. Maybe not a telescopic one, but that just depends on the weather, but at least something like, you know, learn up on some history and shit, because I love history. That's awesome.
And what...
Oh, yes. Where does it end at?
Reasonable people were saying the entire time...
Where does what end at? And what's after the end?
Is irrelevant.
See, those are some deep questions I always like to ask myself sometimes.
And there are a lot of people who value bullshit characteristics or traits about somebody, identity characteristics, so much that it overrides all the other facts about them. So...
Yeah, this whole identity politics bullshit is so rampant. It's not specifically a left issue. This is literally like a bi-party issue, or at least just like a whole political sphere issue. Because, like, I mean, there's people, you know, who push identity politics who are like SJWs on the left, and then there's like the alt-rightists or like the established Republicans who push their own identity politics on the right, and it's it's just all over the place and so fucking rampant. Like, I just wish, and I'm actually gonna pull up a segment later in a minute. I have to find it again though, of Mike Figueredo and Ben Pye on that Drug Pestis podcast. I accidentally got out of it, so I have to find it again. But they go into a debate about it, and it'll be mostly them talking. I'll probably go grab a drink really quick because I just drank the last bit of my vitamin waters right there, my vitamins. But they both have like really good points to their arguments, but like overall, I kind of want to hit up Mike because I am a patron of his, and be like, hey, I mean, I 100% understand his point, but I won't get too much into it now. But I will though in a minute. But let's just hear more about. Let's hear some facts about this this disturbing witch. Like, she looks like a fucking like witch. Ugh. Let's just. Whoa. Don't want to take my tray flying of weed, of legal tobacco. But look at that. She looks like a witch. Ugh. Like, I'm not even gonna like put her up there that long, but if you want to pause that sometime later or whatever, just get a good look at her. Ugh. I mean, that's not even just. That's just. Oh, she just looks. God damn it. Now it's the cord, so I know it's not you anymore. It's the cord. It's my fucking code. Hold the bag. Give it to me. Well, I mean, there's not too much left in that little tray, but you can have it. If I could give it to you.
Oh, Bernie Bros were called Bernie Bros, and people said they're sexist because they said, hey, listen, man, I'm going to have a hard time voting for somebody who voted for the Iraq War. It's an offensive war against a country that didn't attack us. It's an illegal war. Minimum 200,000 civilians died. I'm not okay with that. She voted for the Patriot Act. You know, NSA spying out the wazoo, collecting all of our metadata. Forget your constitutional rights. They don't exist anymore. She's for outsourcing. She was for deregulation of Wall Street. So she is massively corrupt. She takes so much money from Wall Street. So when so-called Bernie Bros pointed out substantive policy disagreements, the reaction from people who are just...
There are even women who were called Bernie Bros. So it's like, what the fuck? It's like, how do women, under your logic, like, be called Bernie Bros, you know? Like, I see it all the time. Like, I'm on Twitter, so I still see this shit. And it's pretty, it's pretty vile, honestly. It's just like, you have no argument besides to say that they're, like, you know, just not supporting a certain candidate for their identity. It's like, fuck off. Like, sure, like, you know, it's okay to, you know, have an identity, but to make that your sole, like, issue is, it's like a no-no in politics. Like, when it comes to politics, that is substance and policy that we need to be discussing, not this identity bullshit. Like, when it comes to the West, we don't really got too many issues. Like, we still got systemic issues, but that just requires some reforms, you know? But if you want to see real oppression of women, go to fucking Saudi Arabia, go to Indonesia, or, like, places in Africa where they're getting, you know, like, oppressed as fuck. Like, that's where we should be spreading this feminism. Like, at least the first and second wave feminist ideology there. Because they're the ones who are actually oppressed, you know? It's not the... Like, when it comes to Europe and the U.S. and a lot, you know, it's... there's not... women are already fairly equal. There's just a lot of systemic reforms that are needed to take place to kind of balance it out more, which that's fine. And that's why I comment politics come too personal, and that is true. It's become way too personal. I try not to make it personal, you know? I mean, it's hard. Like, I haven't really debated anyone else on the other side that much, though I would love to do that at some point. And, you know, to spread my echo chamber, and I also watch, you know, right-leaning channels as well. And it's like, I mean, because I know that to stay in my bubble is not good, because then I'm just staying in an in an echo chamber, just like, oh, you know, we can't, you know, I don't want to debate the other side because they're Nazis and shit. And it's like, you know, and I kind of realized that after a while. I'm like, okay, there are certain folks on, you know, the right and left. I'm just like, fuck you, get out, you know, you're insane and you're fringe and you are a literal Nazi or you are a literal SJW bitch, you know. And those are the people I definitely would not talk to at all. But, you know, there were people that weren't literal Nazis or whatever, or literal SJWs that I used to disagree with majorly, but I'm like opened up to them because I'm like, they're at least principled in their ideas and are, you know, and I realize they're not literally that. And, you know, for one example, on the left, there's this chick named Lacey Green, who's primarily a sex educator. But she was on The Drunken Peasants last week, and I realized how fucking awesome she actually was. She was a really cool-ass woman, and I was like, wow, all right. And I checked out her channel and went, oh, well, you know, actually this ain't bad. Because I remember a couple years ago, she used to hang around in that SJW crowd, but then she basically got excommunicated because she started to open up about her own views, and then the SJWs were just like, nah, you're fucking no, we're wrong, eh. And whatever, you know, doing their nonsense. And I kind of realized that she's a pretty great person. And another example on the right is, like, I mean, like, I know, like, for one example, there's a YouTuber named Sargon Avocat who considers himself a liberal, but he has he tends to kind of toe to a lot of right-leaning points. And there's also Razor Fist from the Rageaholic, who are right-leaning, who I know are principled people, but you know, for at least Razor Fist, I disagree with him a lot because he thinks like taxation is theft, and then like that a wall would actually benefit Mexico somehow, which I don't know how it would. I mean, it's really just like a whatever, you know. To me, it's just a symbolic thing because there's other ways to cross the border, you know. Like they can dig a tunnel under that shit. They can goddamn dogs. They can take a boat. They can go to Miami. They can, like, take a boat across to California or whatever. Like, there's other ways to migrate here. So the wall wouldn't do anything. So, I mean, I've always thought that was a non-issue myself. But I disagree with the wall. But if it's done and passed through and being built or whatever, it's what the fuck ever, you know? Shut the fuck up! Yeah, we have two yap dogs, and they're the most fucking annoying things ever when that happens. I love it when that happens. It's so joyous. But, yeah, I mean, it's, you know, like, I hope someday I will be able to, you know, go on debates and talk with some of these people and just maybe not even necessarily try to sway them over, but at least, you know, get my points out there and understand, hey, I'm a principled person too. And I, you know, despite my views, I can at least understand where some of your points come from. Some of them I won't be able to because I think they're probably ridiculous. But overall, you know, it's like, whatever, like, you know, we're, like, especially with the internet now, I mean, the whole idea is still a free market of idea where we can all, you know, come into light for a little bit and have a discussion and debate ideas and certain policies and everything. I mean, you can definitely see that with YouTube if you go in the right places. I mean, a lot of ways that's been kind of shut out due to YouTube's bullshit policies and everything. But I mean, there's definitely a lot of places where you can debate. There's definitely the current political environment preempts any real debates. Yeah, and that's true. And also, it's one point I was about to get up to is that debates are too combative. What I mean by that is that it's always, oh, so-and-so just destroyed this other person. It's like, or Ben Shapiro demolished this guy, or whatever it's like, destroyed, like all caps. And it's like, that's not a debate. And that's only just gonna boost the support of the other, of the person who destroyed the other guy, because it's just gonna be like, oh, they won that debate. Oh, yeah, they crushed them. It's like, that's not how a debate is initially supposed to go. It's supposed, like, a debate is meant to, like, not even necessarily come to compromise, but at least to a conclusion of how to, you know, go by certain policies or certain ideas and certain social issues and et cetera, like, whatever it is. Like, just fill in the blank on that. And, you know, at least when I'm in the real world, at least, like, a lot of people are generally open-minded enough, at least to my experience, to where they're like, because there's a conservative in my U.S. government class, and him and I had a debate on socialism, and we didn't come to blows. We didn't even raise our voices at all. We were just like, well, yeah, I mean, here's my point. And he kind of sat there for a bit, thought about it, said his little thing, and we kind of went back and forth for a little bit. And this was like before the class started, and we were like, and he's he's a conservative guy, and we were able to get along just fine, have our own discussions and everything, and have very reasonable debates, and ended up being a pretty cool guy. I mean, I don't talk to him that much because, you know, we just, you know, it's college, you take different classes, you know, got different aspirations and stuff, but I see him around every now and then. But it, you know, it proves that, at least in the real world, there's still a good, at least for me, that I've noticed, there's still a lot of room for that open debate, or at least the way the colleges just is, and what people go there, they already have a lot of those ideas and understand it, at least. But because I hear about a lot of these places where, you know, like with, you know, of college campuses being rampant with SJWs, and as a college student, I don't fucking see it. I really don't. And it's, you know, this whole personal identity politics bullshit that, you know, is so rampant, and what makes everyone so personal is just, I think is mostly online. And whenever something does happen, it usually is just exacerbated, you know, like 20 times over, you know, purpose, you know, for going online, you know, proving some shit. And it's just like, you know, it's just a very, very loud minority where a lot of people are trying to, you know, in this large clusterfuck of people trying to find a way in this, you know, bullshit system that we got going on here, and are trying to find some sort of guidance, and whoever just believes in their ideas more just sticks with them, and then they stay around. It's on a current political, it's on a Fox News alert. Which one was on Fox News alert? What was that? But yeah, I mean, like, I definitely know there are a lot of people who are principled in both sides, get like have really good principal ideas to where they could debate each other, but, you know, like what I'm about to pull up here in a second, guess we're done with the CIA bitch. I mean, I don't know, I'll look at the article in a sec here to find out what the fuck's up with her, but with Mike here, for example, he doesn't want to debate certain people like J.R.K. Epi, who's actually a very intelligent dude, but he wants like an ethno-state and is like a kind of a racist piece of shit, you know, whatever, and it's like totally against gay people, whatever. It's just like, it's like, okay, but I mean, he's actually got like a PhD, like he's like in neurobiology or something like that, so he's a principled dude. I just don't personally like his politics at all, because I find them ridiculous, but I will push myself to watch him sometimes and see debate season just to kind of get an understanding of him. And, you know, he's kind of wacko a little bit, and he's really, really weird. He's very French because he's from Quebec. And, yeah, he's definitely a weirder one, but, I mean, he's principled in a sense. So there's another example for the right, too, I guess, right there. But, let me pull this up here. But, oh, man, my mouth got parched ranting that much.
Well, because, I mean, you had...
here we go.
Like, and...
All right, hold up. This was really, really good discussion, too.
Well, I just like how he attributes his ethno-state idea to growing up in Quebec as a child and enjoying...
Well, that's talk about JF there. But, yeah. Go get a drink. I will. I'll let this play a little bit. Grab a drink really quick.
That'll do it. That'll be good.
DP, do not DMC me. I'm just trying to get the debate part.
There you go.
You can see my kitty now.
They both suck. Look at them bouncy ass titties. Fucking I hate this one. I love those fucking guys, man. Why don't you die, bitch?
I'm very tall.
No, I mean, like, I won't say Jeff is a jerk because he delivers his message so eloquently. I don't agree with it, but I'd like to have, like, here's the big problem. Here's the big problem. I normally land left of center on a lot of these issues, but it's hard to find people who are left of center that want to debate these guys.
Yeah.
Like I've asked so many, like Tim Black. Mm-hmm. I asked him to come on and debate JF, and he said I don't want to platform him. And I tried to
my whole thing too.
But here's the thing: he already has a platform.
What you doing, bitch?
He already has a platform bigger than what we have. He already does. So
all right, sounds like I came right in time
with his points. Now's the time to attack.
Hey, you want this back?
Well, this is my
unfortunately, there's a hole in this bag right here.
People who are so far in the fringe with their ideology, who advocate for something like that.
It's not the fringe anymore, though.
Like,
yeah, it's not.
I mean, if I could, I would probably sell this bag for like $10,
in a way,
like half an ounce or something like that, because it's just shake at this point.
Ideas to suggest that it's even debatable. I mean, you think that as we evolve, as we become more socially aware, the idea of an ethno-state is not even up for debate. Just normal, rational people are against it. So that's kind of like my problem with it, is I would never want to legitimize someone with that egregious of a view, which is why I kind of agree with Tim Black. I don't think I would ever want to debate someone who advocates for that, even let alone like a conservative, because I kind of feel like debate in general.
See, the weird thing about him is he has a PhD in like these. I don't know what his PhD is. It might be biology or it might be neurology, but he has he'll argue with you from a scientific argument. But yeah,
it's skewed.
It is. I mean,
sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, you can take.
So essentially what they're saying is that, so what Mike is saying, that certain people that are just too far fringed, like, I guess JF Garipi here, that they just don't feel obligated to put him out in the light to debate them on this certain issue, which I understand. Like, and I just mentioned that before, because there are certain people that are just literally too far gone that you shouldn't give them light because they're just so fucking vile. But at the same time, if you bring them out and then prove to the rest of the, people who are, in this debate in the free market of ideas, they're going to realize how much of a fucking joke they are and laugh them out of the room, and also, I mean, in a way, I feel like the way the debates are now needs to change too. Like, they need to be more like, here's my arguments, and then they'll bring their counterpoint, then they'll bring their arguments out for the same thing, essentially. So they're bringing their points across, and then they just have a simple back and forth, and of course you have that mediator, which is, sounds like a regular debate right now, but it shouldn't be in front of a crowd of fucking people, I think. And it shouldn't be like, oh, you know, you need to like beat them on this idea or something like that. It's more like, here, we're just going to talk about some current issues or some political ideology, whatever, what have you. And then go into a discussion about it. They don't have enough common sense to argue with half the time. That is, you know, that's the point. Like, and that's another thing. Like, a lot of these people, while our principles, some of them are just not. They don't have, like, at least with a lot of the common folk, or at least the more, you know, off-end type of people, don't have the common sense for sure. And for some people on, you know, on my side on the left, I mean, a lot of them don't have the common sense because they just don't feel obligated to debate other people. It's like, but if you, I mean, yeah, you're bringing them out in light, but if you actually go into, like, research what they're about, as much vile it might be, or how weird or whatever it might be, and then deconstruct that argument. And I think that's how debate should be going. It's like, all right, if they're really so far fringe, then take their points and deconstruct it and how they're wrong and stuff. But if it's just like some moderate conservative versus like some, you know, populist left dude, and they're having a conversation, you know, they can, you know, you probably don't even need a moderator with that. They'll be all probably go back and forth pretty normally. Because I was able to in college. I was able to have a perfectly normal conversation with a conservative. So, I mean, it can happen. It works, you know? I mean, even with my folks, we have perfectly good conversations. And even with my family in Texas and in Montana, they're more conservative libertarian leaning, and we're able to have normal conversations and agree sometimes, you know? So, it's totally possible. I'm going to see what comments those were right there. Get my fucking hand all the way after that. Can't bring them all into the light. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, certain people are just, like, Klansmen or, like, skinheads or Nazis. Like, you shouldn't bring them out in the light because of how, you know, fucking ferocious they are. I mean, if you're a Nazi, you're literally a pro-genocidal maniac, essentially, because what have the Nazis did? They did a genocide, a Holocaust against the Jews, and, you know, that if you're a Nazi, you're pretty much either unaware that you support that, or you just outrightly support it, and that's just fucked, you know. And I won't be talking to those type of people, or I don't think anyone should, because they're just cretins, you know. Like, but for some people who, you know, for people who aren't Nazis, or just, you know, these just whatever have you, or like these far fringe outlier extremists from either side, just, you know, besides them, and get out these people who are more principled on these sides on YouTube or the internet, and, you know, and all this, then, you know, there would be probably better discussions on a lot of these issues. I think people will probably be able to come to a more common ground and become more unified. And that's the main thing we need to, like, try to do, you know, is try to unify people instead of dividing everybody into these little holes of their echo chambers, from, like, the alt-right to the ethno-states to the SJWs to the socialists to the liberals to the stronger together, break down the barriers crowd of the neoliberals. It's like, how about we don't do that, and we just unify the people together to actually combat the real problems that are fucking happening, which is class warfare. It's the elites fucking us over, dividing us up. I mean, you can see that everywhere, and it's been going on for a while. And it's, you know, it's just a sad state of affairs, man, when you really break it all down, because, you know, now's the time, more than ever, to, you know, sit down and talk with people and debate ideas and everything. Like, now, there's no more perfect time to do it than the fucking Trump presidency. Like, because if you can at least sit down with somebody who you disagree with and just talk with them for a little bit, and then break down the points across as to why, you know, Trump, for example, is just a fucking ugly, narcissistic, sociopathic liar, and very highly insensitive to anyone that doesn't praise his dick, basically. I mean, you know, I'm sure you'll be able to sway a lot of people, because I know every day, like I said before, with Trump digging his own grave and everything, more and more people are going to be able to at least unify against the establishment and realize what it really is. But they kind of get in more to a lot of this too as well, maybe even explain it way better than I have. So I'm gonna speed up a little bit, see if that works. Oh yeah, it does. Sweet. And I'll just let them talk over here for a little bit, because I mean they both make a lot of great points. And even Pitmonk and Billy the Fridge here also had some comments as well. And can I help you? Oh, my cat gets food. Kitty, you can leave. You're permitted to run away.
Come on, Shoes.
She's getting her food. She doesn't get fed in here because I have an ant problem. It's fucking annoying.
There's basically a study that can back up any idiotic view ever. It's a matter of who's willing to take the time to dive into the study itself and dissect it and see if if this study is accurate. Do they have a large enough sample size? What's the probability that this is accurate? So I feel like anyone, like, you could, any dumbass like think tank, right wing or left wing, you can find studies that kind of, it's just confirmation bias a lot of the time. So I mean, if he really is looking at peer reviewed studies to use his argument, then that I
see. The thing with him is if you disagree with him, he takes, if you won't debate him, he takes that as a loss. Like, and he just...
And what he meant there is that if you don't debate him, you lost to him automatically. So he basically claims an automatic victory because you won't debate him. And that's unfortunately what a lot of these folks like JF and on the right think. That's another problem. And which goes back into the whole divide of people just unable to shut the fuck up for once, sit down together, and just be like, okay, let's just talk about some ideas. Like, here's, like, have, like, a fucking article of your papers and some, facts and sources to back it all up, that back yourself up, and then just go across this table and just talk. And it's just like, when I look back in history, like, especially in, like, American politics from, like, even up to, like, the 80s, the 70s, 50s, 40s, 30s, like, going down the line, I mean, it seems just far more open to discussions and whatnot. Like, maybe not the early American political days, because Andrew Jackson fucking was, like, doing pistol duels and shit to actually, like, win and, gain control. But if they can overtalk you, they have won the debate in their mind. That is also true. Like, if they and they think if they just, like, say, like, one, they'll, or throw a straw man at them, or throw, like, even a red herring at some point, be like, oh, well, yeah, there will do is, yeah, me do this, but you also do this and those, whatever. It's just like, it's just the whole divides, and it's gotta stop somehow. It really does. And hopefully, maybe there'll be a change. I don't know. I mean, I think a lot with this fringe right group that has been kind of popping up on YouTube lately, with, like, the Andy Worski show and the JRK Epi show now. I mean, hold on. Bad time to take a bite out of a granola bar. But like, with these shows, I mean, a lot of them are borderline. I would not say literally Nazi-like, but borderline, because there's a lot of shit about, like, Jews won't replace us and shit like that, and, like, fucking white people are the beasts and stuff like that. So, I mean, they're definitely, like, white nationalist-esque, and I don't play around with that, but I'll still debate these folks, because, there is a sense, like, don't talk of a mouthful, son. I know, I did not learn my manners. I didn't learn my manners when I was in kindergarten. They never taught me that. They beat me if I didn't eat my mouth open. Now I just can't stop. I just can't stop. But, but anyway, yeah, like, with a lot of these folks, I mean, I'll be able to debate white nationalists, because I can understand their argument, because they think whites are superior over other races. Well, I mean, that's irrelevant, and the reason why is because I do believe there's, like, a race, I wouldn't say race realism, but, because the human species is all one race, and that's how I see it. So I do agree with that sense, like, humans, we're all a race, essentially, and then there's, like, sub-races, which is, the different people with them, different melatonin, like the, Asians to Africans to, Europeans and everything. Like, I would consider those, like, sub-races, but there's no, like, inferiority or superiority over one or the other. They're just all, that's just due to genetics of where they developed and evolved over time due to early human migration. So it's like, I feel like that's enough. Like right there, it just kind of destroys the argument, because it's not that one race was superior. It's just that our race migrated so much that they all evolved slightly different over time, which happens if you are living in one place. Like there's species of animals that are in the same genus, in the same species essentially, but they're vastly like dogs, for example, and cats. Like you can see that, like they all will be very different in a lot of ways, and there will be big cats, tiny little kitties. Like my cat's small, but we have, and then our other cat, the other cat, Bandit, was a fat motherfucker. Like, I mean, you know, that's another example of it. I mean, and those cats aren't all like superior over the other. I mean, sure, the other, like Bandit, for example, is big as fuck, and he can easily like smack my tiny little cat, like, you know, down on the ground, sure, but I mean, that isn't be due to like any superiorities other than their size and strength. But I mean, you know, yeah, location, yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, it's just where your genetics originate from. And, you know, and it's okay to, you know, be like admirable towards, you know, your cultural background. Like, because I'm Danish Norwegian, I do have a love for a lot of Norse culture and a lot of Germanic culture. Like what the fuck do I have in here? I have a fucking helmet. Hold up. I have a Viking helmet. I'm not lying. I am not lying. See? I have a fucking Viking helmet. Like, that's how much I like it, but it doesn't make me like a fucking Nazi or whatever, you know? Like, I even have, here, like, right behind this camera, right here, like, I drew this shit, but just because I looked into a lot of, like, symbolism of it and implemented it. Like, I mean, so, but it doesn't make me a Nazi or some white nationalist or whatever, you know? Like, I have respect for other races. Like, I mean, I actually have an appreciation for Native American culture, too. Like, I have appreciation for a lot of cultures. I mean, I just take a lot of the good sides out of it, because culture evolves over time. But, you know, I just have a admiration for a lot of Viking Nordic culture and Germanic cultures, just because, I mean, it's pretty cool if you look into it. I find it very interesting, and it's awesome, but I just find it, at least for me, disappointing that we have white nationalists and Nazi fucks who have to ruin that for everyone else, because if, like if I had, like, a bunch of Nordic tattoos, armbands right here, like I want to at some point, someone could label me as a Nazi when I'm not at all. I'm white as fuck, I'm blonde, blue-eyed, and if I had, like, Nordic tattoos on me, it's easy to label me as a white nationalist or something like that. So, you know, that's another thing. Oh, shit. Whoops. Oh, fuck me. That was gonna happen. Anyway, but, yeah. Well, while I clean this up, I mean, I kind of probably going to start talking to circles at this point, because, I mean, yeah. God damn it. I have to pick up all this shit. I'll have to play while I'm dealing with this, because that threw me off my mind.
Like, he already has a big enough platform. Trust me.
Like, how many people are doing...
That's Confederate?
I mean, when he...
Good sir, that is the Norwegian flag. That is Norsk. That is Norge.
It was on, well, him and his business partner, they recently parted ways. But when they were doing, like, a good show, they were getting 5,000 live viewers at a time.
Yeah, I definitely don't have a Confederate flag.
White people are way better than other people.
Well, they would have, like, Richard Spencer and, like, other, like, white nationalists on, too.
What are you doing for the white race? I have...
But yeah, like, there's another example of, you know, my appreciation for my personal culture right there. It's just like, since I'm primarily Norwegian Danish, I have a Norwegian flag, you know? It's another example of just something else there, too. So, I mean, you know, like, I don't mind, you know, people being proud of their cultures and stuff, but it's just the extremists of a lot of these cultures, unfortunately, that we just gotta, like, call out and be like, no. I mean, you know, you gotta evolve now. Like, cultures are meant to, like, kind of integrate now at this point. Like, we're like, you know, in this modern age of how connected we are as a species now, able to be connected around this world, you know, it's going to be okay to fucking let cultures integrate and mingle and dilute into a melting pot of, like, a unified human culture where it has the subcultures from where it derived its roots from. And that's just how I kind of see culture myself, which I think is okay, and I encourage that. I mean, you can't be an extremist with it, which there's just so much extremism with it, like everywhere. And that's just the one thing that, you know, people just need to watch out for. Because I'm definitely, like, I'm definitely not extremist with it at all. Like, you know, I'm pretty casual with it myself. Like, I used to be pretty open and pretty proud of it a lot. But it's nothing wrong with it until you try to label and scale it up and down. Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, you're saying, like, yo, my culture's superior to yours or whatever. It's like, no, it's just that your culture was just in a different place, so it had its own unique, you know, it was just because of location, like what you said before. Yeah, it's location, because, you know, it's going to be very obvious that culture from Scandinavia is going to be far different to cultures in the sub-Saharan Africa. Far different. It's geography, lay of land, it's just how people evolved there. I mean, you see a lot of similarities with Germanic tribes, and even to some extent some of the British Isles once the Vikings came over, and then the Scots started coming out. And then even with the Irish, the Celts too as well. I mean, there's a lot of similarities with them, but that's because they all developed in a similar area. Even the Slavs in the Eastern Europe also had similar developments, but then you started to see a lot of nomadic tribal, like Khan with the steppes and like horsemen and stuff like that, with the like in religion Tengri started coming in. And then I mean, you could see the blend throughout the world when you really think about it, and you can see where similarities start to come together. So it's just that now you're able to connect it all together very easily and snap at a finger now. I mean, because with internet. So it's just that you know, people need to stop staying in their bubbles like it used to be back then, because sure, it was like a blend, but it was all very compact into, you know, the state or their tribe or, you know, whatever, what have you, the kingdom or etc. And you know, it was only stuck in those bubbles. And also there was just due to other things, because those tribes would fight back against each other or have alliances, you know, it was just all sorts of shit that was going on with that too. But when it comes to the whole cultural thing, I mean, I even see in history where culture was able to integrate and mingle very perfectly almost in a lot of ways, like, and it's just like, you know, it's like a lot of that has been lost in a sense during, you know, the involvement of it all. So, but it's not like lost in a way, it's just kind of been, it's definitely been like, I guess I would say lost, but not like lost forever. It's like we'd have to like walk back a little bit and grab it. And, you know, I was like, oh, forgot my bag, shit. Like we had a rest stop and forgot my bag or something. That's happened to me once. I almost forgot something at a rest stop, but luckily no one touched it. And I was like, oh, thank God. But, oh my Lord. What was that one comment there? It was something about Germany. I think negative pride was exploded with Germany in the Second World War. And that's very true. Well, I mean, because Hitler was able to use that scapegoat against the Jews, for example, and then used German mysticism as his kind of cultish religion to kind of boost it up. But before that was even starting, he was using Christianity as his thing. But I mean, that's you know, and I mean, with that, it's he was able to use the, you know, the downfall. Oh God, hiccups! What the fuck? Used the downfall of Germany at that time, and then it's essentially crumbled economy and infrastructure. I'm gonna just move this a little bit. Jesus. No. Oh God, why is it saying 1% now? Oh shit. This stupid phone. It can't charge. Are you kidding me? There we go. Yes. No. No.